Knock,
Hey
knock.
there!
Oh, hi. How you doing? You must be Mr. and Mrs. Wilkerson, right? Yeah, great. Please, take a seat.
Thank you.
Yeah, all right. So, I have heard so much about you two from Skylar.
Really? Like what?
Oh, I'm sorry, not really. That's just something I say to all the parents.
We put so much time into these parent-teacher conferences. What about if we change the dynamics of parent-teacher conferences and involve the students into something that's more productive? And our school just wrapped up the first parent-teacher student conference of the year. And yeah, I said student because it's about them. And what our school does is they actually have the student lead the conference and do a presentation of sorts that highlight their strengths and some of their challenges and their goals and how to accomplish those goals. So they're not necessarily referred to at our school as parent teacher conferences, but more or less goal setting meetings. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. First things first, though, let's talk about how we typically see parent teacher conferences. Often these conferences take the shape of telling the parents all the wrong things their child is doing to earn a bad grade, or it is a time for the parents of the high performing students come to the school to hear how great their child is doing. And all too often, the successful students' families are more likely to attend than the parents of the less successful students. Family involvement and engagement is a strong determinant of student success, without a doubt. Sometimes those parents are a little too involved, but generally speaking, successful students' families are more likely to attend than the parents of the less successful students. More often than not, I have found that the parents of less successful students are not absent at these meetings due to a lack of caring for their child, nor do they not care about their child's success in school. There's just some other reasonings there that may contribute to a parent not attending a meeting with their child's teachers. So, what are some factors contributing to the lack of involvement? How come some parents don't show up? Well, it could be a variety of things. Maybe they're intimidated by the system. Quite possibly, certain parents out there just had a bad experience growing up in school and don't feel very comfortable attending a conference with teachers, and so they just don't show up. Possibly there's some language and cultural barriers. That can be intimidating for some parents. For other parents, there's just a lack of time. Maybe they're working all the time. Maybe they've got other things going on that we're not aware of. And so they just don't have the time to attend their conference. One thing that's really changed in recent years, thanks to technology developments, is the ability for parents to attend virtually. Maybe they can't get away from the office, but they can spend a few moments on FaceTime, Zoom, Google Meet, and still be able to hear what is being said, getting feedback, and supporting their child. Technology has really helped in this particular area, but there's some parents that still can't get away for whatever reason. So lack of time can definitely be a contributing factor to the lack of involvement with some parents. Another reason I found is some parents might just be exhausted due to the strain of poverty. They have so many other things stressing them out and taking priority. They just don't have the time, nor the energy, nor the desire to focus on a meeting with their child's teachers because they have so many other things going on and they're just trying to keep their head above water. And sometimes there are parents out there that they just don't want to hear another negative thing about their child. Maybe those first couple of years, they just heard nothing but negative things, or maybe they only recall the negative things from meeting with their teachers. And by the time they get to upper elementary, middle school, high school, they don't see the purpose in attending another meeting with their child's educators just to hear more negative things. I think a lot of parents could be turned off from just the word conferences. So instead of calling it a conference, our school calls it a meeting. It includes the teacher, parents, and the student, where everyone agrees to a plan of action. Now, like anything, timing is essential. So, our school, one of the things that we really implement is planning these goal setting meetings at the start of the school year before the students begin to struggle. October is typically when we do it because we have enough background and experience to get a good grasp of what that student is all about. But it's still early on where we can make some changes if bad habits are developing. The key thing from these meetings that we have is to set up the students for success, and that the student, especially, and even the parents, see that we're all on the same team and we want what's best for that particular child. Some key things that our school does to help these meetings be successful is we make a schedule well ahead of time that facilitates access. Have a slot of appointments available so that way the parents can choose what's best for them. Some can make mornings happen, some can make afternoons happen, but just reach out to families to make these appointments. And if parents can find a slot that works best for their schedule, you're more than likely able to find that they can attend their child's meeting, whether it's in person or virtual. Another key to success is to talk to the students in advance what these meetings are going to be about. A lot of students can have anxiety, so it's important for us as teachers to discuss with our students what these meetings are about. We're sharing the positive nature of the meetings, that it's good to bring up their strengths and successes. It's good to bring up their challenges because that way they can work on making progress in those challenge areas and just helping them to set goals for themselves, a real life skill. So again, these meetings can be very positive. It can be very productive. That's what we want to communicate both to our students and to our parents. The students at my school prepare their presentations in advance with help from teachers and parents oftentimes. Some of the things that we include are the positive things, some opportunities for improvement. Also, another thing that we have at our school are goals set by the teacher and the student. Johnny recognizes he's not doing a good job keeping up with his homework. The teacher sets a goal saying, I want you to set a goal to not procrastinate, wait until the last minute to do your homework, but do it the day it's assigned. One of the things that I do to end the conference is to say to my student, is there anything I can do to help you be more successful? And the student sees that everyone is on the same team and we all are working towards seeing that child be successful in school. Positive, proactive goals will promote student success. Some good things to think about. Let's be honest. Most time we're telling parents what's wrong with their child. And a lot of times we're talking about the student, but they're not even there. And one of the things I have found, conferences are much more effective and valuable if the student is there. And if the student has a voice, not if the student's just there to hear all the bad things that are going on or all the great things that are going on, but has an active voice. If there's a true triangle, the parents, the students, and the teachers all trying to get on board rather than the student being left out of the conference and the parent coming back saying, well, this is what your teacher said. And also, a lot of times parents can talk for a long time. Teachers can definitely ramble on for a long time, and the conference can go on too long. So what I'd like to do to make sure that we use the time effectively and is productive, especially if we have a bunch of parents who have scheduled conference times to make sure that their time is honored, is I will put up a timer, 15, 20 minutes, and saying, out of respect for those parents who are waiting for their conference, we're going to time this conference so we can make sure that we cover all the points that we want to discuss so we can better help this particular student. And having it on display, I've never had a parent complain about it or be hostile about being on a timer. We've all been in situations to where we're sitting around at the doctor's office for a long period of time, even after making an appointment. And a lot of these parents are pressed for time, and there's no reason that parents who have scheduled conferences should be waiting an extra 15, 20, 30 minutes because we have that conference that goes on too long. So by having a timer, I've seen dramatic differences and efficiency in the conferences that I've had with my team of teachers and the parents and the student. And it's very easy for parents to judge teachers. It's very easy for teachers to judge parents. And so I feel like we're all on the same playing field. And hey, we are here for the student, and the student has a voice in the conference and what they need and what they see as successful and what they need help in struggling with. Man, I think the conferences are going to take a whole new meaning. Learning cannot happen if students do not understand the expectations and do not have a positive attitude and mindset. Student success is more likely with parents, part of the instructional team, and just having the students there to find out, hey, this is what my parents expect, and this is what my teachers expect, and here's what I expect out of myself, and some of the strategies I'm going to try and implement. So thank you so much for listening, teachers, and have a great rest of the week.